you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe so you'll be notified of all future uploads, and check the description box below the video for important links and information. How you doing, guys? This is Eric from RuleTheWasteland.com. This video is going to be covering a topic which I've covered, multiple times before, about stockpiling for the future, specifically right now with relating to rising prices, inventory mess-ups, and shortages and things like that. But more specifically related to how there's this narrative that's being pushed by, I don't know if it's the media or the government or what, doesn't really matter, probably both. But anyways, the narrative is that, prepping type behavior, stockpiling, hoarding, what they call panic buying is, causing these problems and thus is a bad thing and you should feel bad, basically, if you get more than you need for the next few days. So the basic idea that I believe in is that you are obviously, as an individual, you and I, we're responsible for ourselves, our families, whatever. So if you know that there's going to be a potential issue with supply chain disruptions, whatever, and you fail to prepare for that, that's a personal failure on your part. It doesn't matter why that shortage may or may not occur. Even if it's because there's only a bunch of people thinking there's going to be a shortage, if you know that that's happening, and even if you know there's no actual shortage, but there will be simply because of quote unquote panic buying, it's not you panicking to then say, if I know that this is going to happen and the things that I need or even just want for my family, for myself, whatever, are going to be much more expensive or much harder to get in the future, it's not panic to simply say, I should get those now when they're available and available at a cheaper price and avoid those issues in the future. The farther out you do it, the less it could even be considered panicking. But as long as it's done from a reasoned, logical position to begin with, it's not panicking. It's only panicking if you buy things that you're not going to need. If you just if you aren't logical about it, if you're actually feeling panic. But even if you're feeling fear, feeling panic, that doesn't mean that the decision is incorrect. And if you just decide not to do that, not to get the things that you need, that your family needs, not to stockpile them when you know this issue is very likely to occur, who's that helping? If the issue occurs, it's going to occur, and the only people it's helping is the people who decided to buy right after you, who would have been the ones who missed out. Now maybe they get it, but that doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, there's going to be a lot of people who don't get the things that they need when this happens. So just switching one of those people from you to someone else isn't just some, virtuous act. In fact, I would argue the opposite. Failing to do something for, that you could protect your family and yourself is not virtuous at all when you know. So don't listen to the people talking about panic buying and that you're causing it. It's a really kind of evil, almost devious act that they're trying to do to push this off onto the people who actually see it coming and want to be prepared, and to try and make them feel like they're doing something wrong or immoral or selfish. And if you want to get technical, anything you do for yourself and for your family is an inherently selfish act, but I think you have a responsibility to put your family ahead of everyone else. If you're an individual, it's just you, and you want to put other random strangers ahead of yourself, feel free. That's all on you. I have no problem with that. But if you're responsible for other people, and then it is obviously your responsibility to provide for them. And just trying to be like, oh, I don't want to be a person who's causing a panic buying, and not getting the things that you're going to need when there's probably going to be a shortage or whatnot. No, that's not cool. And I don't think you should do it. Obviously, I'm probably preaching to the choir with most of the people on my channel here, but I definitely think that you should stockpile, hoard, panic buy, whatever they want to call it. Doesn't matter. We know why we're doing it. Just make sure you just get the things that you actually need, get the things that will last, and the things that you think are most likely to either have shortages or massive increases in prices. There's obviously nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think it's a very wise, smart decision. We're seeing the benefits of that already playing out. We saw it last year with the shortages that occurred then. Anyone who had panic bought, earlier was able to avoid these issues, was able to provide for their family when other people weren't. So it doesn't matter why the shortage is occurring, even if it's a fake shortage just because everyone thinks that everyone else thinks there's going to be a shortage. It's still a shortage. It's still a lack of things that you need for yourself, for your family, etc. So do what you need to do to be prepared. Obviously, I think the best solution is just to always maintain a state of readiness with the things that you need. And you can adjust which things those are based on, information that's coming, whether it's weather disruptions and natural disasters, certain things like shortages that are on the horizon. You may adjust, which type of things you get more of and less of and whatnot. But in general, just usually having most of the things that you need stockpiled is smart. hoarding them when it seems like they're going to be shortages of, or price increases of the item in the future is an intelligent thing to do. And in my opinion, more people should do it. And if more people did it, there'd be less of these issues to begin with in the future. So let me know what you guys think about panic buying. I think you should do it. I just don't think it's actually properly named most of the time. The panic buying is when the problem has already showed up and then people realize it and then are running out to get it then. If you are doing the purchasing before the actual shortages or problems have arisen, you're not panic buying, you're preparing, and I think it's smart. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, and don't forget you can support yourself and this channel by checking out rulethewastelandstore.com, where we have an ever-increasing amount of survival and preparedness gear, including one of the best survival fishing kits on the market.